Hello, everybody, and welcome to Misscliks D&D Devotion, the first
It's
episode
a new show!
Yes, it is.
You're welcome, Neil.
Thank you, Hannah. My voice doesn't go up that high.
So hype.
So,
I feel like I'm really excited. I'm gonna talk I'm really excited, Neil. I'm sorry. Because I feel like this is a little bit of a return to our roots. Because we've had Misscliks D&D for quite some time now, years, and been consistently doing it on Tuesdays. Our first show ever, and at least my most beloved, I think, and probably a lot of your most beloved, was Pirate Edition. And what was so special about Pirate Edition is that our characters had really, really strong connections. We all, cried over when they parted ways or died or whatever have you. And so we tried to manufacture that a little bit in the beginning of this new show, and that's what turned into Misscliks D&D Devotion, as you see the romance novel-looking overlay that we're playing with now.
So why don't we do a little bit of introducing our characters for people who might have missed the stream creation, the creation stream. Anna, you're so excited. Who is Kellen?
Kellen is the sister of Kess, played by V. Parleflaw. And what?
You mean brother? Right?
Yeah, brother of Kess. Kess is my sister. And the significant other of Jen's character, Olivia. And I am a bard. I come from a family of bards. And we've kind of been this traveling act for a long time. We go from city to city. I kind of picture us, if you've ever read the Kingkiller Chronicles, kind of like that, the wagon train, lifestyle of going and singing and performing in towns. But we have a route. Like, we go to the same towns and we meet some of the same people. And we're not like famous, but people know us, and we have like a small following, and we're pretty well known, and specifically Kess and I do a duo act that's really, really strong. And I sing, but I'm also very well known for my spoken word poetry. People really dig it. It's kind of new wave. And as
that's probably what seduced my character.
And I'm an elf, so I'm 234 years old, but I look about 23. So I'm an adult. I have some experience under my belt, but I'm still in that like angsty phase where I'm just like, life is so beautiful, but everything's so dark, and I just don't really know what to think other than that I'm just like madly in love with Olivia, and like everything she does just inspires me, and I just want to talk about it and sing about it, and I just like feel so deeply, So you could say that Kellen's a little bit like maybe angsty, but probably the nice way to say it is artsy, and we're gonna see how he develops. And actually, I meant to ask you, Kess, what you look like so that I could know better what Kellen looks like, because I figured we would look similarly. But all I know is that I have kind of like, I have those bangs, like this. That's all I know for sure.
Well, I'll go ahead and go into mine then. I am Kess. I am 214 years old, so I look about 21 in human years. And just to give a look of what we look like, we're fairly tall elves. I have for my hair, it's like a silver with kind of a little bit of a metallic turquoise, kind of a fun color. And our clothing, I would say, is more like, what would you say our clothing's like?
It's kind of like, it's very stylish.
Yeah.
But like definitely for the time. So I would say I probably wear some sort of vest and like a cool undershirt, but the colors are really like whatever the fantasy equivalent of an Instagram filter is. That's my color palette.
Yeah.
So like it's browns, but like this like really complicated blue, and like if is your hair naturally silver and you dyed it turquoise?
It's naturally silver, and it just has kind of like a turquoise tint. So when people get like highlights from the sun, I get like this turquoise highlight.
So it grows that way. You didn't dye it?
Yeah, it grows that way.
So my hair is probably similar, but mine's probably more just silver. and I'm jealous of your turquoise highlights. Like I have a little bit, but people don't even notice. I have to like really point it out to show them.
Did you see that one? No. What
Yeah.
about in this light?
Yeah.
No. What about next to the sea?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Yeah, when my mood changes, my hair changes. You can see it. Yeah, and so I think that you probably, I would guess like we're travelers, so our clothing has to be fairly sensible. So I'd say I probably have like a leather belt and boots. And I think we probably both wear leggings, but I don't know.
Warm in any weather. Mine's kind of like a ruffled up like skirt that I wear over my leggings, and then my top's kind of crop top here. Like I have a skirt that goes to here, so you don't really see much at all. Just a very thin skin that you see there, and then I adorn a jacket most of the time as well over that. So
I have a cloak too, but not like a typical like hood and long cloak. It's like a asymmetrical, really stylish cloak that like has a cowl neck and then is like this, like it goes it's like over one shoulder. It's really stylish.
That is very stylish.
Yeah.
And so for Cass is the sister of Kellen, of course, and also the girlfriend of Ransom. This is my first.
What a lucky man.
This is my first real relationship since someone that I was very dearly together with, unfortunately parted ways with this world. I think it was about 30 or 40 years ago. So 40 years ago in elf years is still only like a few years in human years. So it's still recent in the mine, and that was also the best friend of Kellen. So it was something that drew us really close together because it was the first major tragedy that we had to deal with, which was really, really rough.
11th. I wrote down his name.
11th, yeah. 11th, the heartthrob of my life, who I was very, very close with. Very quick romance, but we really loved each other, and he was taken from the world from a sickness, which we might dive into later. And so from then on was very, very closed-hearted. I'm still very like with the earth kind of creature, very free-spirited. But nobody was ever able to catch my eye until Ransom. And while Ransom might not be like to everybody what he is to me, he's like the apple to my eye. So.
Speaking of Ransom, let's hear a little bit about you.
Sure. I've been working at the town as the smith for a while. I'm a young guy, just 18, the prodigy smith of the family. I've always been visiting these bards' performance when they roll around our town, and Kess just has always caught my eye, and one day I was able to impress her enough. I'm a fighter, and since Kess is so much into intelligent people, I'm going to be an intelligence-based fighter. So we're going to see some very cool tricks and show off Ransom's unique fighting style. Also have a very low charisma, so we're going to see how Ransom manages to botch all these social interactions.
I probably don't really see what my sister sees in him, but whatever.
And it's funny because it's like there's been fighters around and they've tried to impress me, and I'm just like, oh, you're just grunting. The way that Ransom fights and uses his mind was just wow, he can protect me in so many different ways, and I was very taken aback by that.
All right, Jen, who is Olivia?
I am Olivia Lilly.
Aw, throwback.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a human. I am a cleric of Reluna. For those who don't know who
Throwback to Adia.
Yeah, Reluna is basically the goddess of passion. So my character is going to be following her instincts and her passion-based project. So based on that, I decided to also align with my goddess. So I'm going to be chaotic good. So I'm going to be a good person, but not that straight of a person.
All right.
I have curly, messy, long hair. Like, good looking, but like, she doesn't really do much, but it looks good. It's just like,
Like Merida from Brave.
Yeah, something like that. It's
What
like
color hair?
I didn't write it, actually. I'll go for like, how would you call it? Like a mix between like blonde and reddish, but more like blonde. Like,
Strawberry blonde.
that shall be strawberry blonde. Writing it down.
All right.
It's strawberry blonde with pale blue eyes, and I put down that her size is like slightly curvy. She's like she's like an average person, but with the curves at the right place.
She's like an
She's not,
earthly
like,
goddess.
thin, but she's not fat, but she's like curvy.
I like that.
That's my intention with her.
Okay.
So like if she goes for the cleavage, it's gonna be intense.
What does she wear, speaking of that?
I wrote it also. She actually tends to wear slightly revealing clothes, and she smirks and winks a lot.
What is that?
She's a female. She's 32, and she is ambidextrous because I rolled a 10.
Yes, you did.
So she's versatile.
Did you describe what Ransom looks like, Trump?
No, I didn't. Thanks for mentioning it. So Ransom kind of stands tall. He's got the markings of a smith. Like, it's clear he's worked at the forge a lot. So he's got a few like burns and scars here and there. He wields a really large halberd and is usually clad in chainmail when he's out adventuring. I think that's going to be a recent thing. He's got black kind of wavy hair.
In which the scars impress me because I always like feel them and I'm like, oh.
So I think Kess and Ransom have been dating for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Olivia and Kellen are kind of the new couple on the block, right?
That's why I said significant other, because I'm not even positive if we've like had the talk about whether she's my girlfriend or not.
We didn't.
Okay.
We need to have it soon.
Okay.
So right now this is just your friend that's tagging along.
Well, it's like someone I'm seeing, you know?
Yeah, we're like, how do we call it? I guess we're dating.
I'm like kind of seeing this girl.
We're not in a relationship.
You're courting.
Yeah, we're courting.
Okay.
By hanging out
You're
a lot.
tagging along on our double dates.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead.
Do we need like backstory, or are we just going physical? Like, I guess.
We also need to tell about the mechanic of, like, the special mechanic of this.
The level up mechanic?
Yeah. Can I tell?
Please do.
Okay, so we're trying something interesting because this is second edition, but it's really 2.0 Neil, which means Neil gets to mess around with the rules. And so what we're going to do is when we feel like the characters have experienced something or enough things that they deserve to level up, then we as a group will pitch to Neil and to you, the chat, why we think we deserve to level up. And then you, chat, will get to vote via straw poll on whether you think we should level up as a party together. And then Neil has the final say, but you guys, your opinions are weighted very, very heavily. So if you very strongly say we should level up and Neil's like, I don't think so, he still has to let us. So you should watch carefully and determine whether you think we're getting experience from all the things we do, because we will be asking your permission to level up soon.
Okay, so we are going to start.
Do we want to do like backstory and the type of equipment we're wearing, or are we good?
No, I think we've spent a good while describing our characters and that sort of thing. Why don't we hop in, and I think that information will kind of flow out as it comes time. Let's start off our campaign with Kess and Kellen returning home from a trip to go off singing and traveling around, making a little bit of money, and bringing their casually dating / boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, over. Now, Cass and Kellen, your parents have seen Ransom before, and there's kind of been an eye rolling at him. But they haven't seen Olivia. And we're going to start with you guys bringing the two of them home for dinner. Or for something. So why don't we start with taking a look at the map. You guys are here on the map. I'm going to ping it for everyone. I'll ping it on the other window so everyone can see it. Right here. You're at the bottom of this forest. And if we zoom out, that whole forested region, which I'm about to draw on, this whole area right here is the Kingdom of Silvas. That is the home for the elves in the world. Adjacent to it, over here, is the Kingdom of Misscliks, and it's going to go the other way. That is a human kingdom that has recently, not that recently, recently for you guys maybe, like 150 years ago or so, come under the rule of an evil red dragon. That red dragon chills up here in these mountains. I should probably put a red...
That wouldn't be named Brimstone the Fire Incarnate.
No. It's not Brimstone. And he's been taxing the kingdom of Misscliks, eating their noble-born children, and generally just trying to destroy the elven forest and kill as many elves as possible, because he's just an evil, mean red dragon. You guys live down here, which is kind of out of his range of operation. You know, technically he could get to you, but it's kind of far away, and he's mostly been harassing people kind of over in this region. So you guys haven't had any dealings with him, but you should just know that that's a thing going on in the world, and be aware of that sort of situation. So, you guys are going to start off by entering your elven village. It's a tiny, tiny little village, maybe 70 people total. There's a little market square and a clearing. Everyone's got their little thatched roof houses lying around. There's a little paddock for some animals. You guys are mostly vegetarian. There's some meat that you'll eat here and there. A lot of cheese, a lot of milk, a lot of vegetables, roots, fruits, that sort of thing. And the four of you guys walk into the clearing of this village for the humans for the very first time. I guess only for Olivia it's the very first time. But welcome to your home.
What's the village called?
What do you want it to be called? It is your village.
Oh. Well, I think chat gets to have input if they want. So speak now or forever hold your peace on what our village is called.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it... I want to name it after... What do I like right now? I like Project Runway. Let's name it Tim Gunton.
Tim Gunton? We can call it Gunton.
Ferocia.
Back at Value Town.
Requan, Value Town, Civil Value Town, Rook Town, Neeliza, Pallet Town, Value. There's so many. We already had a Valuton.
I guess we're back to Valuton or something.
No, we'll go with your Project Runway one.
Oh, God.
It's your home base.
Raekwon, a lot of people are saying.
Raekwon.
What does that mean? What's it from?
I have no idea. I just see
It's
a
Campaign.
Yeah, it's a thing from Solemn.
Oh.
Yeah.
They want Value Town so bad. We'll have to let's think of another permutation of value. Yeah.
It's okay. There's already there's a Valuton somewhere on this world already.
It could be Valuria. Valuria.
Valuria. I like that.
All right,
Okay.
Valyria.
Valuria. All right, so you come into Valuria. There are a couple of elves around doing their thing. They kind of stop their conversations and look your way, recognizing the two of you, but there are humans here, and there are almost never humans in this village. It's a tiny little village off to the side, out of the way of anything, really. It's not on any main roads or any main trade routes. It's that, like, little village off to the side. So for there to be non-elves walking around is kind of a, would you look at that? You don't see a human walking into town every day. Huh.
people that are looking our way, I just kind of look at them and I'm like, "Good day to you."
Do you know people from this town? Because, like, I know I probably don't really, but maybe you do.
Me?
I thought you said the two humans are. Oh, we're all together right now.
You're all together, yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I think me and Olivia are following behind Kess and why can't I remember your name? Ransom. And I like notice everyone noticing and I'm super proud and I'm kind of like, chin in the air about it. And I kind of try to like nonchalantly like brush my hand against Olivia's to see if she'll hold my hand.
Oh, and Olivia, as a response, goes for it hardcore. She grabs onto your waist.
Oh,
She starts,
nice.
like, she's like exaggerating.
Oh no, what have we done?
Like, are you looking at me, people? Oh, yes, you are. You are looking at me, people. And I look at them and I wink at them. I'm like,
Kellen is like blushing and like eyes wide, like.
And I say,
yeah.
and I look at the other couple to see what they're doing. How are they behaving?
I'm walking and I'm just like kind of frolicking a little, and then I'm also holding hands with Ransom, just like lightly holding hands. So.
Yeah, I kind of raise the hand that's being held up, and I kind of proudly proclaim to everyone, like, you don't have to stare. I don't bite. Come on up.
And I take that opportunity while he does that to do a little spin under.
I'm like, look at that. Old couple already.
And I kind of fall into him, laughing, like kind of goofy.
Oh my gosh, we're so in love, all of us. We're just young and full of promise.
As I see that, I take your hand and put it around my waist. And I just like...
The various people, elves standing around, kind of nod, see what you're doing, and go back to their business. There's a little market square here, and there's people, trading goods back and forth.
As I see that, I'm like, oh, do you think they have anything nice that we could get? Maybe we should buy a gift for your parents. They would like us more, I bet.
Babe, you are the most sensitive person I have ever met. That is such a sweet idea. What do you think we should get them?
Let's go browse.
I love browsing with you. Let's go.
Yes.
No, it's already been a long journey. Why don't we just go to the house? I want to get this over with.
Well, babe, do you think they'd like these wildflowers?
I was gonna say that. You had just
oh my
gosh,
we're thinking the same thing.
Let's grab some wildflowers and offer them to your mom.
Oh my gosh. Babe, that is a perfect idea. And I help her gather wildflowers.
Yeah.
All right.
Put one in my hair.
There are plenty of wildflowers about. This is an elven village after all, so everyone's kind of got their little gardens out front of their houses, or maybe some windowsills with a little planter box. And even in the areas where nothing's intentionally been planted, there's still like wildflowers kind of popping up all over the place.
They look way prettier on Olivia than they did anywhere else.
They look fantastic.
Thanks, babe.
I start writing a song in my head about Olivia's flowers.
You guys make your way through the market. You do some browsing. You get some flowers. You see off to the side, maybe like 300 feet away, your parents' house is over there. Out in front, your dad is like hanging up some laundry, reaching around, rubbing a sore spot on his back where once upon a time, maybe 50 years ago or so, he got kicked by a horse and that rib just never quite healed right. And it's just, it's always bothered him a little bit. He's just, putting out the sheets.
What's the name of your parents again, sweetie?
My dad is... What, chat? My dad is...
What, chat? That's a weird name. Okay. What about your mom?
Yeah, what, chat the elf? Yeah. And my mom is named...
Kalia.
Oh, yeah,
Kalia?
of course.
Kalia?
Kalia.
What Chit and Kalia?
Not chit, what chat?
What chat?
What chat?
What
I gotta
chat?
start running up to what chat. Hey, what chat? What chat? Don't bother your poor back there. Let me handle this. Help him with this
that's
stuff.
your dad?
That's my dad.
Oh,
He's so cool. He's gonna love you.
Quickly introduce me. As I say that, I'm like pulling my shirt down. I'm like, right. I'm my charm on.
I walk up to help him as well with Olivia on my arm. I'm like, here, Dad, let me help you with that. And then I'm like, may I present my most beautiful flower, Olivia.
Hello, what chat?
I
Nice to
stepped
meet
back
you
a
at
little.
last.
I stepped back a little.
So much about you. I couldn't wait to meet you. It's a pleasure. And then I wink at him.
And give him the flowers?
And I give him one flower because I'm keeping the others for your mom.
Mm.
He gives you maybe a little bit of an awkward smile and says in flawless common, "Ah, Olivia. It's a pleasure to meet you. Are you Kess's assistant? Or Kellen's assistant?"
Oh,
Dad, please excuse him. Obviously, Olivia is no one's assistant, Dad. She met me at my last show when I was reciting Feelings on a Brick Road in the Dark of Night, and she really liked it. And, you know, I told you this is the girl that I went and saw the Tuberos show with last night.
See. Well, why don't the four of you come inside? Kess, good to see you too.
Dad.
Think your mother is baking some bread right now.
Then
Oh my
I
gosh, Mom's bread, so good.
I touch his shoulder and I'm like, your son is so talented. I've been so touched by his lyrics. It has imprinted my soul. I couldn't help myself but follow him along on his adventure.
Well, what can I say? He learned from the best. Come on inside.
All right, let's go. And I already like grab him by the shoulder as we walk in, as if like I've known him for so long.
You guys come inside, and in there, your mother, Kalia, is taking some fresh loaves of bread out of the oven. There's kind of a cheesy garlic smell coming off of them, and she's putting them on the wooden table that seats 4 people, taking her oven mitts off. Looks over and goes, "Oh, you're back so soon. And look, you brought followers."
I had a strong whiff and was like, Mom, that smells amazing in there.
Well, you'll have to wait. It takes a half hour to cool if you want it to be done right.
Oh, do we have British accents, Kess? I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. How do I do British Valley Girl? We'll see. Okay, we'll work on it. The accents will evolve over the course of the show.
I'm playing with it for
Yeah,
the
we'll
first
see.
day.
You never know.
Glad to see some food here, Kalia. Pleasure to meet you again.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
some meat cooking as well, yes?
No, we weren't expecting humans over for dinner tonight. It's just the bread and turnips and carrots.
This is wonderful. I love
This is
bread.
very
I
disappointing.
like push a little bit everyone. I'm like,
What?
hey there, Kalia. Nice to meet you. I've heard
Hi.
so much about you. And then I like grab her and hug her and like hold the flowers.
Oh, darling, it's so lovely to meet you.
Mom, this is Olivia.
I see, yes.
I told you all about her. Remember how her hair looks like the sunset after a slight rain?
I do recall you talking about a person that way. I didn't realize you'd be bringing her home. Is there something, going on here between the two of you?
I start laughing. I'm like,
Oh,
pregnant if that's what you're worried about. That would be silly now.
Dad.
We just started dating.
I look at both of them back and forth, and I'm just kind of surprised. Like, you guys know how this goes. Ransom has been in the house. What is wrong with you tonight?
Kids, why don't you sit down? I think it's time we had a chat.
Mom, I know what you're probably asking, and it's have Olivia and I officially decided to take our relationship to the next level. And I wasn't going to do this till after dinner, but I turned to Olivia and I like take her hands and I like put them up to my heart like this. And I'm like, Olivia, you're the most perfect being in the whole universe. And I just want to spend every waking moment with you. And I hope that you will accept when I ask you to officially be my girlfriend.
No, that's
Oh
it.
my
Your
God,
dad
yes!
speaks up.
Yes!
No.
Yes!
Look, kids, sit down. I need to speak to you.
Up onto you.
I'm like hugging her and spinning her around.
Kids, have a seat. Your dad switches into Elven, hoping that the humans here don't understand it, and says, "You guys, what is going on here? Why are you pretending to be in love with these people? You know they're just gonna die in a week or so."
I'm like, no, love is made more beautiful by its fleeting nature, and Olivia is perfect, and maybe I'll die tomorrow. Who knows?
Fleeting nature, indeed. These humans, they come and go like this. They'll be gone in... how long is the average human lifespan? He switches back to common. Olivia, dear, when did your mother die?
Oh, my mother's still alive, actually.
What age did your grandmother die?
Don't be rude.
Did my grandmother die?
At what age did your grandmother die? If you don't mind my asking.
She's also still alive, actually. She's like 98 right now. It's crazy.
Your great-grandmother, then.
I switched to
Oh, yeah,
Elven
she's
tongue.
really, really
I switched
dead.
to Elven tongue. This needs to stop.
She's really dead.
And
But I didn't know her, so I
involved.
don't really care, to be honest. Like, it's too bad. Like, that's how life goes, right?
You know, I think I can tell from your questions where this is going, and let me assure you, Ransom is going to be living a long and hearty life.
Your mother, Kalia, steps in and goes, in Elven, "Kids, you're just wasting your time. This isn't real love. This is just infatuation. If you want a pet, we can get you a cat or a dog or something, but this sort of short-sighted
Oh my god.
ridiculousness is not going to work."
I like kind of at this is where at first I was like, oh, mom and dad being so silly, whatever. They're just
You
old.
should get a pet.
But
It's
then-
a great idea, Mom.
As soon as they compare her to a pet and start saying stuff like that, I like my eyes narrow and I kind of stand up slowly and I kind of like put Olivia behind me and I'm like, I have never
Are we getting
heard
a
you
pet,
talk
baby?
like this. What? Olivia, just a moment, my precious flower. Just a moment. I can't have you talking to someone I love this way, and I demand that you stop.
Still in Elven, your mother says, "You will demand nothing, dear. Now, I am the first person to say humans are great. We love them. We love visiting their towns. We have nothing wrong with you having human friends. But to devote yourself to a person who's going to die in, 70, 80 years, you're going to be living on for hundreds and hundreds of years beyond that.
Yeah?
Making an attachment to these people is a waste of your time and your emotional energy. It will only serve to scar you in the future."
Was that the same for Leven? He's elvish, and look what happened to him.
Tragedy will strike at any time, but tragedy
Exactly.
will absolutely strike with these two. You're wasting your time here.
I squint my eyes at her and my dad, and I kind of look back and forth between them, and I'm like, you're the people who taught me to see beauty, and I see more beauty in Olivia than anything I've ever seen. What would make you say these things to me? Who are you?
Your dad's switching into comment, like slams his fist on the table and says, "Olivia is a fine and beautiful woman. I can see that, but it is not about her looks. It is about her lifespan. And it is too short for you."
Well, then, if it's just a blip on your radar,
We spend our lives.
I'm being so dramatic here. Come on, people. We were supposed to have just a nice dinner together. I was so excited to meet you. Like, we should live in the moment and enjoy this great bread that your wife just cooked. And we should decide upon which pet we're getting, because that's a great suggestion. Watcha.
I do really like pets, but if my parents are ever going to compare you to a pet again, we're not going to be able to spend this brief blip of a lifespan here in their house.
You know what? Maybe that's a little bit better. I don't think your mother and I can sit by and watch this little farce unfold. Why don't the two of you take your pets and leave, and you can come back when you've gotten this foolishness out of your system, one way or another.
Kellen stands there motionless and tears squeeze out of the corner of his eyes because he loves his parents so much and he can't understand where this is coming from because he sees them as like bastions of light and beauty and creators of beautiful things. And he doesn't understand why they're being so ridiculous, but he loves Olivia so much. And because they raised him, he's like, well, I'd rather go spend this short lifespan with her every second I possibly can. So he just kind of like says, I love you, Mom and Dad, and then grabs Olivia's hand and then runs out of the room.
Wait. And before we leave, I like put the flowers in the vase, grab a little bit of bread, because I'm like, I'll at least get to try this. And then I say, it's really weird that you have this custom of calling like your better half pets, but I guess it's an elvish thing. It's really, really thank you so much for inviting us over, and I'm sure I'll see you soon. Goodbye, Dad.
I wish the best of luck to you guys.
Thank you.
I kind of wait there and I look at my mom and dad and I just look back and forth at them, kind of like with a question in my eye, not tearing up, but on the verge of tears. Because I'm just so confused by this. Like, and I just say, but Ransom's been here. I don't understand.
Your mother kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and says, now, sweetie, Ransom is a perfectly fine gentleman, but the two of you are fundamentally incompatible.
He loves me more than anyone else has ever loved me.
Well, and he should. You are a treasure, and it is the nature of humans to be wistful and desiring things that are out of their reach. It is very common for humans to fall for elves, but for us to fall for them, this is...
You never even took the chance to get to know him, did you? And I looked up at them.
Well, what's the point? He's going to be dead very soon. In 30 or 40 years, he's going to be too old to go off with us all the time. You know, half their lifespan, 40 years of their life just wasted being at home because they're too old to do anything. These are fragile creatures.
I'm not disappointed in you two. And I hope one day you learn. And then I turn and I grab Ransom's hand and I walk out the door.
Yeah, I turn back and call after them in fairly good Elvish. I'll say, well, I guess I'll see you back in 80 years.
There's like a frustration and maybe like a little blush going over the dad's face. Like, damn it, he speaks Elven. I should have remembered that.
You walk out and you find Kellen like has gone a ways, but found kind of like a rock to sit on and is like sobbing into his hands. And Olivia is like comforting him and trying to be like, we'll get 2 cats.
What did you? Sorry.
You're comforting me and trying to tell me about the pets that we have, probably.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's all right. Look, I kept this flower in my hair all this time, and I think we should pick like a pet per petal, and then the last petal left standing is gonna be the pet we're gonna choose. It's gonna be great.
I go over to Kellen, like I come kind of behind him and I crawl up on the rock that he's on and I just kind of like give him a hug behind, like around his like neck.
When she does that, I'm like, I miss Levanth.
You miss what?
Levanth, my BFF.
I do too, brother.
Who's that?
I do too.
He's my best friend, and we lost him.
How?
I don't know. Maybe I'll sing you the song I wrote about it sometime.
Yeah, I guess this song would make me more interested because right now I don't know anything about it, so I'm kind of having trouble relating. But you know, I love you very much, so it's all right.
She says, "I love you very much," and I go, oh, "You do?"
Of course. Why would I be there if I didn't feel like instant connection to you?
I get up at this point, and like the one thing that makes us feel better is usually music. So I just kind of like I bust out my ocarina and I start trying to play a tune, just like lightly at first.
I start rocking along.
I'm like, oh, come on, make it more upbeat. Let's dance a happy dance. Next time for sadness. Come on, people. Yeah,
I just kind of play that same tune. Just like a light tune, like kind of.
And I'm kind of breaking the mood, and I'm like, come on.
I completely dance along with Olivia's beat. Whatever it is that she's doing, I get swept up in it.
Okay. As you guys are doing this, your mother comes out from the house, which is a ways away now. with a small bundle of bread. You can smell it, still warm from the oven. She hands it to Kess and says, good luck. I spent almost a century away from my family after we had a spat once. But you've seen your grandparents. We get along very well these days, so...
I look at my mother and I quickly give her a kiss on the forehead. And I said, hopefully you don't let it be that long.
I say, you know how to reach us when you learn to see what beauty really means.
Maybe we'll see you on the road. And she turns around and heads back home.
I cast emotion read on her.
I take the bread and I break it apart and I give a piece to each person.
Okay. Emotion.
Kind of shout at them. Even if you don't see them soon, you'll hear of them soon enough.
Okay. So she gets a saving throw, which she fails. You get a kind of bitter sorrowness out of her.
Aww, your mom is kind of bitter. That's too bad. And I don't really know what sorrow means, so...
Helen's just kind of quiet at this point. Like, he doesn't have much to say. He's just kind of thinking. And this is the look he gets when you know that he's, like, in the depths of emotion. But that's also when you know he writes his best songs and poems.
Yeah. It's weird. I didn't expect your mom to be a bitter person. I thought she'd be more cheerful like you.
Sorrow is a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by other people or oneself.
I kind of walk ahead of the group and I'm looking out because at this point the sun's setting and I have a love and appreciation of nature and the earth. So I'm looking out at the sun and just playing the ocarina lightly.
I think on that note, we're going to go to our first break. We'll see you guys on the other side.